back on our channel. My name is Amara.
And my name is Gospel.
Today we're going to have an interesting conversation. Well, I mean, it's up to you guys to say whether it's interesting or not. But we're going to talk about how to stay emotionally connected with your spouse. And please, if you find this video valuable, please share, comment on this video. Let us know your thoughts as well. And just, keep the conversation going.
And then subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Oh yes, please do subscribe if you're actually viewing this for the first time.
Relationship to us is like a living organism that need to be nurtured, to be, like you have a plant where you expose the plant to oxygen,
sunlight,
exactly, sunlight,
water,
to go through the process of photosynthesis.
Exactly.
If you leave a plant, by default, it's going to die. That's how it happens in relationship. If you leave your relationship without nurturing it, without doing the right things, the positive actions to make it what it needs to be, your relationship would die a natural death.
Yes, so it is very big. Basically what we're trying to do here is have that conversation about how can we actually sustain our relationship, how can we keep our relationship going. And I think the fundamental thing about this is we have to be intentional about it.
Yes.
You cannot just allow your relationship to keep up by itself without
doing certain things to make it work.
Yes. Let's just say that every relationship is actually work in progress. You keep learning about each other every single day. You keep growing together. And it's our expectation, or it's the expectation that in relationship, both persons in that relationship would need to grow together, or else they will start growing apart. We encourage people who are yet to be in a relationship to actually, or people who are just new in a relationship, to think about ways they can keep growing together. Because this is very important. People start off good, and then they begin to grow apart. Now today is about how do you stay connected to your spouse. That's the whole conversation we'll be having today.
Yes, like you are saying about people, couples working together and growing together. But the reality of it is that as people get married, the business of life, some people are involved in different careers that take their time. Monday to Friday, they don't really have so much time to spend together. For some people, weekends too, they are busy. So busy and busy. So the idea is that if care is not taken, this business of life and the things that try to take their attention and their time may make them not to invest in their relationship. And you see a situation where a woman is telling the husband, I don't know what's happening. I don't have that feeling for you anymore.
I don't feel connected.
I don't feel connected with you anymore. And this man, because he's been out there trying to make money for the family, trying to, help them with their needs and all that.
So he feels that from his point of view,
he's making sacrifices.
Exactly.
And sometimes when he remembers the family, he's motivated to go out there and do more and make more money. But look at him at home, and the wife is saying, I don't feel connected with you anymore. And for such a man, he would be like, why are you saying this? I love you, and I love you. And
I've made so much investment, still making investment.
Yes, it's the love I have for you that is pushing me to do all this. He can't even understand it. Maybe you can explain better.
Well, I think that what she's actually saying is that connection is no longer there. That spark, that feeling, that I had before for you or for this relationship is no longer there. I think it's waned. So that's what she is trying to communicate. She's not trying to say, I don't love you anymore. She's just trying to say that the emotion is not at the peak or it's not as it used to be. Now, this brings into a lot of questions where people say, then what is love? Are you now saying that the woman is attributing love to emotional feeling? And some people might say, oh no, love is not a feeling. And because we sort of have that sort of view about love.
We tell people that love is not how you feel, it's about commitment to do the best and be the best for someone else.
Yes. But then in a relationship, you need to make emotional deposits as well. You need to be emotionally connected to someone. So when we talk about love, even look at God in himself. God is an emotional being, and he's created us having that same feeling as well. Because when you say you love somebody, you express that love in action. You express your emotion through the things that you do. And probably for a woman that feels that way, and by the way, it's not just a woman that feels this way. A man could also feel that way in a relationship. What they eventually try to say is that I don't think you're making enough emotional deposits.
So what are you now saying is the problem? What could we say that has created that emotional vacuum between the man and the woman? Because for the man, he thinks everything is alright.
Yes.
He's sacrificing for the family.
Yes.
In fact, he could even buy things for the woman.
Yes.
In a way of showing
love,
how much
he loves and treasures her. Yes.
And she's saying, I don't feel anything.
I think it's all about speaking that language.
Yeah. Maybe the man does not speak her love language.
Yes.
Or he doesn't have time
to invest in making those emotional deposits. The couple would need to have this sit down and talk about and try to understand what the core problem is.
What has gone wrong.
Yes.
Not just from the man's perspective.
Yes, but from the woman's perspective as well.
Then they look at it together as a family. What is the question mark in this relationship?
And how can we solve it? And I think some of the things that they might need to X-ray might be the fact that they lack quality time for each other. That could be not one of it.
Yeah.
So, like you talked about being busy, being engrossed with, life happens, lots of things, it's not like the honeymoon where you had time for each other. Now everyone is back to work and, chasing stuff.
Life, yeah?
Now, the fact that you lack quality time, it's not that you don't have time for each other, but you're not like, carving out quality time for each other. That could be one of the reasons. Now, you could be growing apart due to the fact that you no longer engage in deep level communication.
Yeah.
So these are some of the reasons I see. I don't know if you have more.
Yeah, like you saying growing apart. Maybe the man is so engrossed with work environments, colleagues and all that.
Yes.
So, and they don't have a way of understanding what's going on in
each other's life.
World.
Yes.
Yeah. So, which is where the communication thing comes.
Yes.
Because if they talk, they would grow together rather than growing apart. And then you look at it this way, they've allowed the relationship to go into default mode, which we talked about before. You can't leave your relationship like that.
Yeah.
If you do, it's going to wane.
Yes.
That emotional connection will not be there anymore.
Yes.
And then they've also stopped creating memories.
Yeah.
Wonderful
together.
memories that would, when you think about how we spent our time together.
I mean, think about when we were dating, the fact that, we were very conscious about wanting to have a special time to meet in a certain place, make it memorable, talk about things,
ourselves and all that.
Exactly. And the thing is that I find it very surprising that people get married and something as they might consider little as that still keeps the relationship going. So the fact that people get married and they no longer try to make those memories anymore because it's like we've seen it all.
We are here together.
The project is done. What's the point?
Going out.
Exactly.
Away,
So I think making memories would help to reenact that emotional bond. Yes. And the fact that there might be poor communication as well. So the wife might be saying, like you were saying, I'm saying to you, I don't feel emotionally connected, but what you are understanding is the fact that I am providing stuff. Why is it that why is it that you don't feel love for me? But you don't even understand my feelings. So there's a poor communication. There's like you're not listening beyond the words. And I think that this happens in a lot of relationships where the woman is saying something and you're just taking the words literally, and sometimes women say a lot.
And men will try to rationalize it. We are thinking, but if I don't love you, I can't do this or that for you.
Yes.
So we expect that the evidence of love is those things we do.
That you've done, yes, or that you're doing.
Exactly.
But for a woman, it's different.
Yeah, because that woman who feels emotionally disconnected needs her voice to be heard.
Yes.
Not just the things she's saying, but her soul,
being connected.
The heartbeat of that woman.
Yes.
Needs the man to listen and understand what she's trying to say.
Yes.
Maybe she's saying, give me more time.
Yes.
I need to have a deep level conversation with you. I
Yes.
have issues that I need to share with you.
Yes.
Just listen. Give me time.
Yes.
Don't be too busy. Maybe your weekends you spend it watching football. Give me part of that time. So we could have this tete-a-tete.
Yes, tete-a-tete, yeah.
It could also be that you're saying we used to make love in a certain way and in a quality way.
Probably.
Now
yes.
it's not there.
It's no longer
anymore.
there. Yes. Yes.
And you are saying, but you know I'm busy.
Yes.
You know I'm trying to fend for the house.
Yes.
That's why I'm not there for you.
And I think that all of these things that we've highlighted also, you've just touched on something that happens in a lot of relationship where it leads to lack of sexual intimacy. So the fact that it compounds the problem. There's no deep level communication, there's no quality, you're not investing in quality time, and all the other things that we mentioned, allowing the relationship to go into default mode. Eventually you find that you're losing your sexual intimacy.
Yeah, because you have to feel emotionally connected for a woman in particular, for you to come to that point of allowing, sexual relationship that is enjoyable. I know that sometimes women, out of obligation, allow that to happen.
Yes.
To fine, let me let him.
Yes.
But not because she is actually enjoying the process.
Yes. So having touched on all of these things, so what do we then do to bring that spark back? How do we
stay so emotionally connected?
Exactly.
That it wouldn't be like there is a vacuum.
Exactly.
Or there is a wall
between
the two of them.
Yes. And there are a lot of things, and please feel free, make your comments, tell us what you think. Just share with us your thoughts. We will be highlighting a couple of them, but we're sure you have a lot to tell us. The first thing that I basically think, or we think, is important is staying committed to each other. Understanding that the best way to create that spark again is to focus on loving actions.
Yeah, loving actions.
And there's an emphasis on loving actions.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you say to someone, oh yeah, I love you, I'm head over heels and all that, but your action does not commensurate with what you're saying. So it is very important to make sure that your words and your actions align. So keep acting in a loving way towards each other. If you do this consistently, I think over time this will bring the feeling back. Yeah,
like you're saying, some people, when that feeling is not there, when that emotional connection is there, they think love is gone. They think it is all over. So what do? Flight. That is why you see some people, they change relationship like they change clothes.
Yeah.
And when you watch the media, you see celebrities, this person is married, divorced, married again, because their definition of love is basically feeling. But we understand that feeling is important. And this is why we are saying this. Find a way to make that feeling come back.
Yeah.
But to do that, find the actions, those quality actions that prove love.
Yes.
Actions like being faithful to each other.
Yes, I think it's very important, because if you profess love for someone, then you must act in such a way that that person trusts and believes that you love him or her.
One of which is being faithful.
Being faithful, yes.
Now, when we talk about faithfulness, we talk about loving someone in a faithful way, which includes faithfulness to your vow.
That's true.
When we were dead, we made a vow to each other.
Yes.
I will be with you forever.
Yes.
I will love you forever. I will forsake all others.
And stick with me.
It's just you.
Yes.
Whatever happens along the way, we're in it together. So when we make all those promises, what are we actually saying? So if things are not going the way we think they should go, should we quit? No. So the first way to prove your love is to stay faithful to that person in that relationship.
Yes.
And then when you move faithfulness to a practical level, you're thinking about faithfulness in terms of keeping your promises.
Yes. So you were talking about the vow, which is it's important.
Yes.
But I think that you also need to be faithful to your spouse in terms of finances as well.
Yes. Before we even talk about finances, I was trying to say something about faithfulness in terms of improving yourself. if I've done something wrong to you,
yes,
and you know that this is wrong, and I apologize to you, the expectation is that tomorrow I should not repeat it.
yes,
I do it again tomorrow, I keep doing it,
no,
and I keep apologizing. Faithfulness here is...
There's no value in your apology anymore.
Exactly.
Yes.
Faithfulness here is in my ability to work on myself.
Change, yes.
To change.
Then I see change and I say, oh wow,
Right.
he sees me valuable to make a change that will make me or keep me happy.
Yeah, because I've already made a promise to you that I'm going to be the best for you.
Yes.
So that requires improvement in my action.
Yes, and you remember our definition of love.
Love is doing the best.
Doing the best and being the best for the person that you love.
Exactly.
And I think that it's very important. It's not just you being the best, but you doing the best. So action has to back up what you say. Now I talked about finances and you said I should hang on a bit.
Yes.
Because the thing is that some people choose to be faithful in other areas, but when it has to do with money, it's a no-no. And I think this is a point that has been a potential conflict for a lot of people. You should be accountable to your spouse.
Yes.
So the fact that you're earning or making a living doesn't mean that I do whatever I want to do with my money. I think if you're in a relationship with somebody, I'm not saying that that person has to dictate what you do with the money, but you need to be accountable to the person to say, this is what I'm spending this money on, and this is how I'm spending, because remember that you're making the money for the family. Now, not everybody will agree with the idea.
Yeah, but that's our concept of intimacy.
Yes.
Financial intimacy. It means that what I own belongs to you, and what you own belongs to me.
But it's not the popular. This is not the
together.
popular opinion.
But this is the ideal situation here. So that's why we're trying to say. We've said it over and over again, even in our previous videos.
Yes.
Husband, the breadwinner, and homemaker,
yes,
and all of those.
yes,
so you can check out those videos. You would understand more of what we're saying.
Yes.
So you have to be faithful. Faithful that you see the money as our money.
Yes.
And manage it effectively.
Yes. Now another point I think is pertinent to touch on.
Crucial.
Very important. Is loving through forgiveness.
Wow.
This is, if we begin to unpack this today, I think we're not going to leave. Because I find that in a lot of relationship, grudge is one killer in a relationship.
Yeah.
The fact that someone does something, has apologized for it, okay, let's move on. But then something happens again, maybe probably similar, or maybe not quite what happened before, but you now choose to use the opportunity to recount like what you did yesterday, like what you did 2 days ago, like what you did maybe 10 years ago, whatever it is. I think that it is very important to check what is your forgiveness bank like. What is it like? What is your capacity? I mean, looking at yourself, do you have the capacity? How big is your capacity to forgive? When you're offended by someone that you profess to be intimately in love with. I'm not just talking about anybody else, family or anybody. I'm talking about that one special person. What is your capacity to forgive that person when that person hurts you?
So, yeah.
And not holding offenses, not bearing grudge with that person, and trying to resolve that conflict when it's still little before you allow it to fester and then it becomes something
I think
big.
Yeah, like you're saying, I think love is proven by your ability to forgive. Because if anyone would offend you,
yes,
your husband or your wife is
they're the
major
closest
person. In fact, they will offend you more than any other person will offend you in this life, because you live so close
that they see all the flaws, all the weakness.
They step on your toes.
Yes,
they keep offending you. So you have to grow that capacity to forgive. Because if you don't forgive, there will be that emotional disconnect. And if you don't resolve it, you keep building up to the point that if you see this person, you feel so bad.
Yes.
It gets to that point. I know of couples that when you speak to them about the issues they have in their relationship, you're wondering, how do they even live in the same house?
Yes.
Yes. We heard of news recently of a husband
Yeah.
who, whatever it is that happened between him and the wife,
We don't know the details.
went out there and shot the wife how many times?
Seven times. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, how could a man get to the point of becoming so bitter, so angry,
Yeah.
that he could not forgive, and he steps out and kills the wife?
Yeah. I mean,
Terrible.
yes, terrible. We don't know the background.
Yeah.
But what we're trying to say here is that if there is an issue in your relationship, it might be a big one. I think whatever you do in your relationship, suspend it and focus on trashing that issue. Because what I've noticed, like you were saying, this breeds bitterness, it breeds anger, strife, and someone getting to a point that you want to harm the other person.
It's a bad state to be. So to have that emotional connection with your spouse, talk about the things that have gone wrong, and have the disposition to forgive and let go.
Yes.
Yeah. If you do that, you're closer to getting your passion and your fire for each other back.
Yes.
Than keeping grudges.
Yeah.
Another point we have to make here, if you want to have that emotional connection with your spouse, is that you have to be intentional in loving your spouse sexually.
Yes.
Look at how we phrase it. Find a way to love your spouse in a sexual way. Be intentional about your sexual life.
Yes.
You know that there's this cycle that some couples get involved in, where the man is looking for sex, he's asking for sex, sometimes demanding for sex, and the woman is saying, no, I'm not in the mood, sending a message of withdrawal.
Yes.
And sometimes the man could, become a bit distant from the woman because there's something he's looking for
and he's not getting it.
It could be a woman as well,
yes,
who may not even say, I need sex from you, husband.
True.
But she's sending that message. The man doesn't care. The man is doing his own thing, and she's feeling down emotionally.
Yes. So I think that whatever be the case, this is not the best scenario.
Yes.
And you need to sort of have a conversation about your sexual life. Why do a diagnosis of your sexual life, your sexual love life, because this is very important. I mean, it's like the heartbeat of your relationship.
It might not actually be the heartbeat of the relationship. From a physical point of view, that is the best experience you can have with each other.
Yes.
Because when you are involved in it, you're naked, you're open.
Yes.
You allow that pleasure
between
you and your spouse.
So if there's something probably not happening, or this is not happening as frequent as it should happen, I would say that we did a survey asking couples about what like frequency.
How many times do they have sex
the frequency of their sex life in a week. And I think we got a response of an average of, is it 1.5?
1.5 a week.
Yes,
it will surprise you that a lot of couples out there, they don't really do this enough of the time.
And there are a lot of factors.
Yes, there are a lot of factors that could limit that. And we talk from experience because we know there are a lot of factors. Sometimes it could be all
work.
Sometimes you could be doing maybe 3 times, 4 times a week. Other times 0 times a week.
Yes.
Because of different factors. But
but basically what we are saying here is be intentional.
Yes, the key point is up your game.
Yes.
If you're looking for how to get emotionally connected,
the spark,
be intentional
about your sex life.
Do something about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the more you spend time having sex, why are you looking at me like that?
I'm not looking at you anyhow. I'm looking at you the way you're looking at me.
Yes, but what we're trying to say is that the more couples spend time, firing on their sex life, they're closer, or how do I put it now? What's the word?
The more connected.
Connected, yes, the more connected they are. So we think that this is important. I mean, you cannot. Although some people do, they can keep a grudge and still have sex. I don't know how.
Yeah, for a man, for some men, they can keep
they
a
can do
grudge.
and
They
still-
might be angry somehow,
Yes.
but
for a
still
woman
do
it's
their thing.
difficult.
For a woman, it's difficult to have that sexual experience and enjoy it if there is no emotional connection.
Yes.
For a man, the best you can do for your wife is not just to, jump into the act. Find a way to make sure that there is that emotional connection with you, so that she too can enjoy the process. But what we are saying here is, if you do the right thing and increase the frequency of your sexual life, where the two of you are in it,
yes,
and two of you enjoy it, it will help you build emotional connection.
Yes.
And we will cite some examples or ideas on how you can improve that. What do you think?
Yes, I think that what you said is spot on. And one of the things, and you talked about ideas, but we'll be sharing a lot with them, is try to slow the process. This is particularly directed to the men. I don't mean to be gender specific, but what I'm trying to gender bias. What I'm trying to say is that try not to rush it. Slow down a little bit, take it at our pace. We want to take it slow. Let's talk. Let's have that conversation as we go on. Because this is all about building bond, building that intimacy as you go on talking about it. Try to make it a memorable experience.
So what you're saying is that the sexual experience has to be part of the journey.
Of course.
Of emotional bonding, where you see it as a gateway through which you would be intimate with your spouse.
Of course.
Not just
the
normal act.
No, not just a routine. Yes.
I get your point.
Not just a routine, but it should be something that you do to make a memory.
Doing that means you have to take it one step at a time.
Take it one step at a time. Take it slow. I mean, you're gonna get there at the end.
Isn't it?
Savor the moment. Chillax. Take it slow. You're gonna get there at the end, isn't it? And I think that another thing is, while you do that, you're making it a special event. You're making it
memorable for the two of you.
Yes.
I think in one of our videos we talked about sex in terms of the man having more responsibility in this area.
Yes.
Such that if you try your best and make your wife sexually satisfied, she will always be happy to allow you in. In fact, she will look forward to it.
She will. I mean, I think this is the best point for us to signpost them to some of our videos, what women wish their husbands knew about sex. And I think we did another one on what men wish their wives knew about sex. You could find your value. It's a conversation, rich conversation of different women, different men, just sharing their experiences and telling us what they would want to see in terms of sex specifically. So you might want to,
have a look at those.
Go there and you just engage with the content and tell us what you think about it as well. Again, create variety.
Variety.
Don't be
Don't be
style
monotonous.
person. Try to add a spark,
and a spice
to it.
So that even if the man is at work and
oh
he
my
remembers
God, it's
you,
like I want to come home.
He's rushing home.
Yes.
Or the woman is somewhere, she remembers the husband. She will be all happy.
Yes.
To give you that big experience.
Yes.
You can't be involved in all that and still feel emotionally disconnected with each other. So the problem here is that most times the business of life make people, they don't really give it
that time. And I think also the conversation that builds up to the act itself is also very important. What sort of conversations do you have, messages, and not kind of prepping and trying to set the tempo for later on is also very important.
Sorry to cut in. A man wrote a book and said sex starts in the kitchen. So his idea is that a man should not just come in from work and expect the woman to be ready. You prep her. You start from what you help her to do. If she has so much to do at home,
you can take on some and just
so
help
that
her.
You create more time for her. At work, you send messages. Not because you want it, but when you do it from your heart, you actually give her the opportunity to sets the tone
Yes.
for what will happen when
Yes.
you're back.
That's true. That's true.
We can go on and on
Yes.
and talk about this thing. One other thing I have to point out here is
Yes.
you have to set date night. Just for the two of you, exclusive night where you explore
Yes.
your sexual life.
Yes, and sometimes you can also talk about other things in date nights, but date night is not there for you to have a conflict resolution, because sometimes people use their date night to have conflict resolution. I think it should be a separate agenda entirely. Date night is about you trying to build your intimacy and discovering, what is it? How can I satisfy you more? What other things can I do in the relationship that can keep it going? And both of you just having that conversation realistically about it.
This kind of date night is exclusive date night.
Yes.
Like you're saying.
Yes.
Not for how do we pay bills? How do we sort out this?
That one can be done some of the
you
time.
can do another date night for that.
Yes.
But this one is just for you two. I think we need a date night too.
Do we?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see about that after the video. Anyways, it's been a lovely time talking with you guys about this, and it's not exhausting. And like I always say, tell us what you think. How else can you build emotional bond in your relationship? Or tell us what you've been doing as well. Maybe if you're married, please do share. Would love to read as well. And we're all learning together. We're educating ourselves together. And if it's your first time being on our channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking with us and with the content that we're constantly putting out. Now, it's a wrap up for today. Until next time, it's goodbye from us. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.